Hello family, welcome back to the channel. I trust that you all are doing well. In today's video we will be talking about signs of generational curses. As humans, we will always face issues, but we want those issues to be daily life issues, like putting fuel in our car. We don't want problems that won't go away. And you might be watching this video right now and you are going through so much. You're going through so many problems that just won't go away. You have fasted, you have prayed. In fact, you have exhausted your fasting and prayer, but those problems will not just go away. I'm here to tell you that that is due to faulty foundation. Generational curses are due to faulty foundation. So I will be talking about these signs, and if you find yourself, if these signs, if you realize that any of this has something to do with you, then it's time to act. Let's talk a bit about faulty foundation. How does this come to pass? Faulty foundation is like a foundation that is not built on Christ, that Christ is not the solid rock in which you stand. That means the foundation in which you're standing, something is not right with it, right? It's not on God. So your grandparents might have done something. They probably went and worshiped another god. They bowed and pledged allegiance to that god and said, me and my entire family will worship you. Just like how as a Christian I said, as for me and my household, we will worship the Lord. Your grandfather probably went and said, as for me and my household, we will worship this altar. Okay, maybe your grandparents were witches, wizards. Maybe they killed people. Maybe they killed children. Maybe they did something to somebody and that person lay a curse on the entire family. So those are faulty foundation. And now, just because you are part of that family, you are also facing the consequences. Unfair, right? It is unfair. To be honest, it is very unfair. But there is something you can always do about it. You are watching this video because so many things have been going on and it has frustrated you. You are looking for solution. That is a good thing. I would like us to read Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 8 to 10. I want to show you something. You shall not make yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on earth beneath, or in waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to thousand generation for those who love me and keep my commandment. Again, you will actually read this and be like, but why God gonna punish me for the things I don't know anything about? It's the bloodline. It's like DNA, right? It's like DNA, where you cannot erase your DNA. If they actually take your blood now and probably take your ancestors, you will see that there is a connection. That is how. So it's a DNA. It's not your fault. But again, if I want you to pay attention to verse 10, but showing love to thousand generation for those who love me and keep my commandment. Now you are watching this video, right? You want a solution. That is a good thing, because you have opened your heart to receive God. You have opened your heart to receive God. And the way our God works, he's not a terrible person, okay? When he sees your heart that you are willing, you have submitted, he will come to you. So let's get to the signs. The first sign I would like to talk about is stagnation. Stagnation, where you've noticed stagnation in your life. Stagnation means that you're going nowhere. You are in same position. To say you've probably been working as a customer service for 10 years, you have not been promoted, and you're unable to get another job. And now, when you look in your family, you are seeing that everyone is like that. You all have been stuck in the same position for so long. There is no progress. There is absolutely no progress. The thing that I would like you to know about generational curses is that it is called generational because it is something that passed from one bloodline to another. So it's a repeated pattern, a repeated pattern. So the first thing, like I said, is stagnation. When you notice stagnation in your life, that there is lack of progress in your life, then you should know that is a sign of generational curse. The second sign we'll be talking about is poverty. And I'm not just talking about when you say someone is broke. No, broke means that I have paid my bills and now I have nothing to go chill on Friday night or Saturday night. Poverty means that even those who are poor are actually laughing at you and they call you poor. It means you are below the minimum wage. You have tried everything, you cannot seem to get out of there. People have actually tried to help you, but it still doesn't take you out of that situation. And when you look at your family, every single person is like that. Again, patterns. Patterns. The key word here should be patterns. Patterns. The third thing I would like us to talk about is late marriage. Late marriage. And this is both man and woman. Late marriage or no marriage at all. There are families that people do not get married. They don't get married. Or if they want to get married, it's probably in the age of 35, 40. Have you seen cases like that? People don't get married, and it's not a fault of their own. They date quite all right, but when it's time for them to get married, it doesn't just work. When it's time to get married, every time a person show interest in marriage, the relationship doesn't work anymore, which is not no fault of their own. They date, but when you get to the marriage stage, nope, the relationship suddenly goes sideways. Those are signs of generational curses. There are families that people are drunkard, right? When you look into your family, you can see patterns. These are just signs that I'm naming, but then you know your family, evaluate it. The first thing I should have mentioned is that the first sign to identify signs of generational curses is observation. You have to look at your family, see what is repeating, look at the patterns that are repeating, and ask questions. Ask questions. There are family that people are drunkard. They drink and drink and drink, and you will hear them say that is how we are in our family. No, that is not how God made you. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. That is not how God made you guys. So there's nothing like that is how we are in our family. The fourth thing, right? That will be the fourth thing. Reoccurring sin. Reoccurring sin. Reoccurring sin means that you committed a sin. Let's use adultery for example. You committed adultery and you went with sincerity in front of God and repented, but you found yourself doing that same thing. You did not know how you found yourself there, but you uncontrollably did it again, and you go back and repent, but it just will not stop. And the common one is sexual sin. That is why I use adultery. The common one is sexual sin. But you know yourself, evaluate yourself. You've committed that sin, but you repented, but you continuously do it without even knowing that you are doing it. You only realize that, oh my God, I did it again. I did it again. But you don't know what happened, right? Reoccurring sin is a sign of generational curse. And the fifth one is sickness. Sickness. When your grandfather was sick of a certain thing, your father, now you, or your mother, everyone in your family have this. I remember when I used to have a colleague back then. She came to work and she's like, oh, they found a lump on my breast. And I was like, oh my God. My reaction was like, oh my God, we gotta pray about this. This is not, she's like, oh, this is normal. It's normal. My mother had it too, and my grandmother had it too. And immediately I was like, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. But you see that to some people these things are normal, but it's not normal. That is a sign of generational curse. When you have certain sickness, where we hear people say my entire lineage had cancer, it shouldn't be that way. And now you are watching and you're like, I'm not gonna get it, right? When you make up your mind, that is the first way of freedom. You know that. So sickness, when you notice a certain type of sickness, your father had it, now you have it, your mother had it, your sister had it, your cousin had it, everyone in the family just seems to have that particular issue. That is a sign of generational curse. That is a sign that you should do something about it. Don't say this is how it is in our family, like the lady told me. Oh no, that my mom had it, my grandma had it too, so how well. And the thing is that she accepted it. She's like, how well, It's life. We're all gonna go and we're gonna go. No, we're all not gonna go and we're gonna, dear. Okay, I should probably not crack a joke. We're talking about something serious. But she's like, she told me that we will all go, right? We will all go. And I'm like, it's true, we will all go, but I'm not gonna go that way. I'm not gonna go because due to faulty foundation. I'm gonna go when God says I will go, right? So it was just bizarre seeing that experience. So I want you to do not see patterns as a normal thing. Do not see patterns as a normal thing. They are not normal. Generational curses are real. They are the one troubling you. That is why when you're fasting, no matter how much you fast, no matter how much you pray, it's not working because you're not handling it very well. I've dealt with a case where we were praying for someone. I remember praying, and the Lord showed me babies, a lot of babies that were being slaughtered. And when I came out of that vision, I was a bit confused, disoriented for a moment because I was like, these are the things that our ancestors did out of ignorance. And again, I will say out of ignorance because majority of them did not know it would turn out bad. They thought they were doing good stuff. Remember then, they didn't know any better. So they thought they were doing the good stuff. Now you're watching this video and you are like, it's not fair. They shouldn't have done that, and I shouldn't be paying for their sin. That is true. But again, bloodline, bloodline. That is why we often pray for forgiveness of sins, for our bloodline to be purified. There is a different foundation that you can stand on. There's a different solid rock. Christ, your solid rock. The blood of Jesus, the foundation of Jesus that you can stand on, right? To fix that faulty foundation of yours. It is time for you to plead for forgiveness on behalf of those people that did wrong. You have come through this video, you have watched this video. It is not by chance, it's because you have noticed something is wrong and you want a solution to that problem. It is time. It is time for you to do something. Stop crying. Tears, unfortunately, is not going to do nothing. And I tell you that from experience. Tears will do nothing to those demonic altars, to those faulty foundations. It is time for you to stand up. Stand up. Plead for forgiveness for all the sins of your bloodline, generational sins, and watch how God come through for you. In our next video, we will talk about how to deal with faulty foundations. I would love to hear from you. What are other signs of generational curses that you know? Let us add to this list so that we can help somebody. If this video have blessed you, do not forget to be a blessing to someone by sharing. Do not forget to subscribe. For all of those who are watching and not subscribing, do not forget to subscribe. In our next video, we will talk about steps on how to deal with generational curses. See you guys next time.